Among the most requested features for next-generation consoles is backwards compatibility. Allow people to take their old library of games and transfer it over to the new generation of consoles so they can keep everything in one place. And yeah, this is something that Xbox has committed to, and we still haven't heard a lot about how PS5 is going to handle that, but we are hearing some games sort of talk about their plans for backwards compatibility, chief among them being Cyberpunk 2077. So here's a tweet that was posted today on June 19th, 2020, which reads as follows: "We are happy to confirm that Cyberpunk 2077 will be backwards compatible with both next-gen consoles." So that's both PS5 and Xbox Series X. The tweet adds, "Your PS4 copy of the game will work on PS5 on launch day. Anyone who buys the game on Xbox One will be able to play their copy on Xbox Series X when the console launches too." Now, it is important to make the distinction between this and smart delivery. This right here is backwards compatibility. You're taking the current gen version of a game and allowing it to be played on the next gen version of consoles. Smart delivery allows people to get the next gen upgrade of a game for free. So there is going to be a PS5 and Xbox Series X upgrade, no doubt, that will enhance the graphics and the loading times and just add extra graphical and technical flares to enhance the experience and to take advantage of the next-gen technology. That version is still being developed and will come after launch. So it reads right here, "A later upgrade to Cyberpunk 2077, taking full advantage of the next-gen hardware, will be available for free," which, hell yes. Now, we know for a fact that smart delivery is what Xbox is calling their program for a free upgrade from current gen to next gen versions of a game. Again, different from backwards compatibility, which takes current gen version and allows it to be played on next gen. But we haven't heard much about PlayStation's plan for this, but I surmise that maybe CD Projekt Red knows something. They didn't say here that they are only going to do this for Xbox Series X. They didn't just specify, smart delivery. They said that a later upgrade to Cyberpunk 2077, taking full advantage of the next-gen hardware, will be available for free, which may suggest that this is going to be for both consoles. And if this is the case, that'd be fantastic, because that would normalize this idea of not having to buy a game twice between generations, but rather you just buy the game once, and like in PC, when there's a patch that enhances the game in some way, you just get that patch for free and are just able to play that without having to buy the game again. So that's a very consumer-friendly thing to do. With smart delivery, it isn't a mandate, it is a choice for developers. CD Projekt Red is, with obviously how consumer-friendly they are, going all in with the smart delivery program. They said back in February 2020 that, quote, "Gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available." They're just flat out participating in this, whereas companies like EA have already confirmed that they're enacting their own version of a next-gen upgrade program where there is a limited time in which you have to purchase the game and redeem the next-gen version. CD Projekt Red is just taking advantage of smart delivery, which gives you no time limits, no caveats. You just get the next-gen upgrade, the next-gen version, if you purchase one version of the game, and that's fantastic. And it's great to see that CD Projekt Red is sort of leading the pack here and showing the rest of the games industry how to be consumer friendly. And now with backwards compatibility, if you don't have a PS4 but plan to get a PlayStation 5, well, the great thing is you can still purchase the PS4 version and play it on your PS5. And so it just all around gives the customers and the players a greater extent of flexibility. You're not going to have to wait until the PS5 version releases. You can just flat out get a PS5, get the PS4 version, play the game, and then await the next-gen upgrade. And hopefully, if PS5 implements a smart delivery-like feature, then you just get that upgrade for free and maybe do another run with all of the enhancements that come with the next-gen upgrade. So just so ideal all around. Now, it should be noted that as far as PlayStation is concerned, Sony did recently issue a mandate in which, according to the headline from Eurogamer, quote, "New PS4 games must also run on PlayStation 5 from July," Sony tells tells devs, updates to existing games strongly recommended to add compatibility. Further details can be read in the body of this article, which states Sony has told PlayStation 4 game developers that any new title submitted for certification must also be compatible with PlayStation 5 beginning July 13th. This is all no doubt part of Sony's endeavor to ensure that backwards compatibility between PS4 and PS5 can be as universal as possible. Though, we'll have to wait how they're going to handle, PS3, PS2, PS1 games. But there is going to be a pretty strong bridge between PS4 and PS5, particularly titles developed in the latter stages of PS4's life cycle. The article then adds, this means all PS4 games received by Sony for testing after the middle of that month are technically forwards compatible, playable on Sony's next-gen console, though it is up to each game's developer to ensure this is the case. Sony has told developers it will contact them individually with details on how to test PS5 compatibility in the order of their various projects' release. Further documentation sheds light on what compatibility means. A game will be deemed compatible with PlayStation 5 only if its submission code runs without issues on Sony's next-gen machine and provides the same features on PS5 as it does on PS4. Eurogamer then notes that all of these rules apply to games submitted after July 13th rather than released after July 13th. So as an example, Ghost of Tsushima is coming out on July 17th, but the game was likely submitted much further back, and so this game won't be required to be PS5 compatible, but given it is a first-party title, it goes without saying that this game will likely be PS5 compatible. So Sony's definitely going out of their way to ensure that they can maximize backwards compatibility as a feature, but we don't know if they're going to implement a smart delivery feature. It seems very likely that Sony has their own plans, maybe an upgraded version of cross-buy, which was much more limited in previous gens, but maybe they're going to expand that to a much greater extent when implementing that feature for PlayStation 5 to be more kin to smart delivery. Now, many of you probably know by now that Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed. Here's a statement that CD Projekt Red provided, noting that the title was delayed by 2 months from September 17th to November 19th, and one question that people asked is if they did that so they can release the next-gen version of the game alongside the current gen versions, if that was the sole reason for the delay, if that's the thing that they're not disclosing. But it would seem as though that's not necessarily the case, judging by the fact that the next-gen upgrade version of Cyberpunk 2077 isn't coming at launch for PS5 and Xbox Series X. What is coming is the PS4 and Xbox One versions that can run on PS5 and Series X, but that's just taking the existing game and just adding that extra level of compatibility, which probably isn't, without question isn't as much work as straight up making a patch for a next-gen version with enhanced graphics and technical elements. So I get the sense that the delay here really had more to do with them needing more time to iron out the bugs, to balance the game, and just ensure that it is as good as it can be before it launches. They just needed more time to make sure that the game was technically sound. The game itself is complete, gameplay and content-wise. It's just a matter of ensuring that all the pieces fit together well. And so for those theorizing that CD Projekt Red is purposely delaying the game just so they can get the game out on next-gen consoles with the next-gen upgrades, it flat out states right here that the next-gen upgrades will come at a later date. At launch, it's only going to be that backwards compatibility feature. I know there are plenty of people who are upset about the delay, and I understand because a lot of people, took out vacation days just for, that September timeframe in which Cyberpunk 2077 would launch. I know that I do agree that CD Projekt Red did overpromise and expressed overconfidence that they would launch by September 17th despite the pandemic and all of these different things. They said time and again that they are not going to delay the game and that they're really confident that they can release by September 17th. So to see another delay, it is frustrating, and I think people have the right to be disappointed. But when push comes to shove, I do ultimately appreciate what they're striving for with this game. I appreciate that they're ultimately just trying to put the best version of the game out there. But yeah, this whole notion of the game being delayed just so CD Projekt Red can take advantage of the PS5 and Xbox Series X's launch with a next-gen upgrade, that seems highly unlikely. Beyond that, CD Projekt Red answered whether this backwards compatibility aspect is going to apply to both physical and digital versions, and they confirmed that this will indeed apply to both. So if you purchase the game digitally on Xbox One or PS4, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 will know that you have that game in your library on the older gen consoles, and you will probably be able to download them, and I surmise that the save data will also carry over. So yeah, all around great to hear. And I surmise that with PS5 and Xbox Series X pushing for backwards compatibility in this manner, plenty of other titles, aside from Cyberpunk, will also implement this feature. And that's fantastic. Again, this normalization of ensuring that you only have to buy a game once to play it across multiple consoles, multiple generations. So that's my take on all of this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Cyberpunk 2077 taking advantage of the backwards compatibility features that both Sony and Microsoft are planning to implement into their next-gen consoles. So drop a comment below on all of that, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.